So let me ask Dr. Bernstein a question. Doc, why did you think inflation was temporary?
The word, of course, transitory is what you're referring to, and I not only believe, but I've said, and this is
Well, is temporary and transitory, those are synonymous, right?
yeah, those are they're synonyms. And I
Okay,
think
well, tell me why.
But I think transitory was
Tell me why you thought inflation, I'm going to be accurate. Why in your infinite wisdom you thought inflation was transitory or temporary?
Well, let me be clear about what we meant at the time. And by the way, and this is contrary to what Ranking Member Scott said earlier, I did not ever say that people didn't understand transitory. What I said was we didn't understand transitory. In fact,
Well, that's clear. We can stipulate to that.
That word is temporally ambiguous. It meant different things. To some people, it meant 2 weeks. To some people, it meant 2 years. What we meant, and let me answer your question, we thought inflation was going to accelerate and gradually cool down over time. Now, that has turned out to be in fact, the pattern that inflation has taken. But transitory was much too ambiguous a description of that dynamic. Acceleration, cooling.
So now inflation is down from 9% to 5%. Are you telling me that when you said inflation was transitory, you were correct?
No, I'm not saying I was correct or incorrect. What I'm saying was that was an ambiguous.
Like you're saying you were correct.
No, I'm saying that was an ambiguous, an unclear word that was poorly chosen, I think, for that discussion because it meant different things to different people. To me,
well, has it been transitory?
Inflation has, in fact, behaved much as I just described. We thought inflation was going to accelerate and gradually cool over time, and that is
Jared's going to cut me off. Has it been transitory?
Inflation has accelerated and cooled.
Senator's time's expired. I want to fulfill what you said that I was going to cut you off.
Yeah.
Senator Van Hollen of Maryland's recognized.
Hello, friends. President Biden is not happy with this. The United States is reaching closer and closer to a debt ceiling deadline. The U.S. president is now meeting with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries to finalize a deal. But without GOP support, this plan may fail. My dearest friends, this is the latest news, so please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, this coming Friday, I will be announcing more winners for the $75 Walmart gift card giveaway. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. President Biden and top congressional Democrats are now calling on Republicans to present a clean debt limit bill and hold separate negotiations on a budget as the GOP rolls out its opening pitch in the high-stakes battle to increase the U.S. borrowing limit. The White House announced today that President Biden spoke on the phone with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and that the trio discussed the looming fights over raising the debt limit and passing a budget. The White House told reporters President Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Jeffries also discussed House Republicans' brinkmanship over default and how their recklessness could crash the U.S. economy. They all agree they won't negotiate over default, and Republicans should pass a clean bill like they did 3 times in the previous administration. The Biden administration has confirmed that President Biden is ready to have a separate negotiation over the budget once Republicans present their plan, as has been done by both parties in Congress and the White House in the past. The call between the top Democrats came the same day Speaker Kevin McCarthy has laid out his plan to raise the debt ceiling to House Republicans. The framework includes bringing discretionary, non-defense spending to fiscal 2022 levels and implementing work requirements for safety net programs. President Biden has been adamant that he wants Congress to pass a clean debt ceiling increase. But House Republicans have pushed for spending cuts to be linked to any hike of the borrowing limit. This past Monday, during a speech at the New York Stock Exchange, Speaker McCarthy said, "Let me be clear. A no-strings-attached debt limit increase cannot pass." Biden and McCarthy met to discuss the matter on February 1st, though the president has refused to meet with the speaker on the matter again until Republicans release a 10-year budget proposal. Last month, House Budget Chair Jody Arrington said GOP lawmakers were still working on writing a budget plan, signaling that more work had to be done to amass support from the conference. During today's call, President Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries also railed against proposed GOP spending cuts. The White House has said they discussed what we know about House Republicans' extreme spending cuts, which include devastating cuts to veterans and education, taking food assistance and health care away from millions of people, and sending manufacturing overseas. Aside from the debt ceiling and budget, President Biden, Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries also talked about Democrats' efforts to lower costs for hardworking families. So, dearest friends, what are your thoughts on all of this? Do you agree with President Biden's recent statements? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. One of the biggest reasons why Americans are continue to call for stimulus checks is because prices for everything have not gone back to pre-crisis levels. Since mid-2021, living costs have been climbing, and in recent months they have been extremely elevated to a notable degree. That has caused many Americans to have to raid their savings and rack up costly debt on credit cards just to stay afloat. But this past March, the unemployment rate was 3.5%. That's comparable to where the jobless rate sat prior to the crisis. And it's by no means a high enough rate to warrant another stimulus check. According to some economists, inflation seems to be easing, but quite slowly. And if that continues, Americans who are struggling to pay their bills today may find that it's easier to keep up with their expenses as 2023 chugs along. In June of 2022, the Consumer Price Index, which measures changes in the cost of consumer goods, was up 9.1% on an annual basis. But by contrast, in March, the CPI was only up 5%. Now, that's still a fairly high level of inflation, as 2% is generally considered a moderate, acceptable amount. But still, 5% is worlds better than 9%. We are still pretty far away from 2% inflation, and we may not get back to that point this year. So if inflation levels continue to drop, consumers should get a little amount of relief during the second half of this year. Well, my beautiful and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday. Thank you, dear friends, for being part of this community and for being here every single day. To say thank you for being part of this community and joining me here every single day, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dear friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.